Good afternoon folks, and welcome to another video. Oh yes, I thought I would make a video about my latest acquisition. This is the Gramdeck tape recorder, tape deck attachment, which sits on top of a record player's turntable. Now, I was very fortunate getting this machine. It cost me 25 quid, and as most people know, I like strange and weird audio devices. You know, I like things out of the ordinary really, and you can't get any more out of the ordinary than a Gramdeck. And what I'm going to do, you can't see this here, can't get it in frame, but I'm going to record, I'm just setting it up, I'm going to record, turn that record player on, I'm going to record from this record onto the Gramdeck. Let's put it on 33, that's 33 and a third. If you're in Ireland, it's 33 and a third. There we go. Anyway, let's adjust that so that the tape is on the erase head, because it has a permanent magnet erase head. There's a guy, I can't remember his YouTube handle, I've just sent him a comment as it happens. Just replied to one of his comments. Well, he replied to mine and I've just replied back. And because his Gramdeck preamps don't record, so I'm going to make a detailed video mainly aimed at him, so that he can fit his bias coil and hopefully getting his Gramdeck controllers to work as they were originally intended, because it's nice if everything works as it should, you know. And let's turn the controller on. Got this I'll just give you a quick look at the controller. And this controller, believe it or not, is really nice. It's dead clean. There's not a couple of scratches on the top, but look at the front. There we go. There's the Gramdeck controller. I'm running it on a battery pack at the moment because I haven't got a PP9. So I'm just running it on a battery pack, which is 9 volt, and it's working fine. So I'll turn the controller on to record, and right, so what I'll do, I'll press the button there to engage the pinch roller. Make sure the tape is actually sitting on the head, which it looks as though it is, because it moves about. I wish I knew where my record cleaner was. So what I'm going to do now, I'm only going to record a little bit of this. I don't even know what it is. There we go. Adjust the bass and treble to middle and turn the volume, just the record player. I've got it plugged into the speaker, the external speaker socket, and that's why we're getting no sound. But you know, I just think it's an unusual device, and I like unusual things. I mean, yeah, you know, I like the way you know, I like the way it jiggles about while it's running. You know, yeah, you know, it's yeah, it's funny. It's nice. It's good to look at, but you know, it's yeah. I didn't get the tape with it. I bought the tape off eBay, and whoever wound the tape onto the spool wound the tape on backwards and upside down and God knows what. So I've had a lot of messing about with the tape. I've had quite a bit. I've actually had this Gramdeck stripped down. The bearings in the capstan are a bit knackered, but there's nothing much I can do about that. I've just packed them with grease. I know you're supposed to oil them, but I've packed them with grease and it's shut them up a bit like putting sand in your gearbox. You know, it's sort of shut them up a bit. But I wouldn't even think you could get replacement parts for these now, unless there's some new old stock knocking about. If anybody knows of any, let me know. It'd be nice to replace the bearings and have it running exactly as it was intended. That pinch roller looks like it's easy to replace, because I reckon you'd get away with a pretty substantial sized O-ring. You know, you'd be able to, because that rubber tyre on the pinch roller, just look, by the look of it, I've not tried, but by the look of it, it just flips off, and I would imagine you could just replace that. So, you know, the head, yeah, you'd probably get away with putting a modern one in, but it would be a bit of jiggly pokery. So, you know, and the erase head's a permanent magnet. You know, I had two nice fellas down from Yorkshire this morning. They bought one of my consoles off me, one of my disco consoles, and a pair of nice chaps who watch all my videos. Hey chaps, oh we can't see, yeah, hello. You know, you know, we had a bit of a chat and a bit of a laugh, and I tried to show them the Gramdeck, but while they were here it wouldn't record. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it recorded. And after they went, you know, I just did something, I jiggled about, and it went, and away it went. Absolutely, you know, I don't understand some things. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there, because I don't want to leave I don't want to leave this plugged into the speaker output of my record player any longer than it has to be. So I'm going to start by turning the controller off and turn the Gramdeck off, well, the turntable, to stop the Gramdeck. Lift the arm off that record. That's a test LP to be used in laboratories in places like that. So I'm hoping the music isn't copyrighted. If it is, it just fucking toughed up all the video, won't they? Fucking miserable bastards. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to feed it through. And, you know, people are going to say, oh no, you're doing that wrong, that's not how you wind reel to reel, I don't care. I'm going to wind it back. Let's just turn this on. Hang on. Move the erase head. I don't want to wipe off what I've just put on, do I? Give that a bit of volume, turn the record player volume down. I've got it plugged into the mic input of this record player. Oh, hang on. I was getting no sound for a minute, and I wouldn't just know why, because I've got to, yeah. See if we get some sound. Yeah, it's recorded, so I can turn that down. Oh no, I need to know where the start point is. We'll just wind it back a little bit. I don't expect this to sound, I don't expect audiophile quality from this. What I expect is it to sound like a rather naff 1960s tape machine, and I've had a few of those, and there were some of them when they were new, they were probably okay. Like these, I mean, the one I can't pronounce his, I can't remember his eBay handle, but the guy on there who demonstrated them, who I was conversing with earlier, who were exchanging comments with, the one he's got sounds absolutely beautiful. He played Dusty Springfield on it, and it sounded absolutely beautiful. So, you know, I mean, mine's got a bit better now. I've discovered what the felt pads in the box were for. You know. Well, I knew what they were for, I just couldn't be bothered going in the box to get them. There we go. Capstan, pinch roller rather. And this is a recording we just made. can hear the scratches on the record louder than the frigging music, because it's a test LP. It does get louder in a minute. Are we right on the head there? There we are. I'll tell you, it's done some testing at LP, you can hear the scratches on it. Do you know something? If that was a bit louder, I mean there's plenty of volume in there, because you can hear the scratches over the music. But that's basically, it's just a demonstration anyway. It's, you know, it doesn't really make much difference. I mean, this tape's, there we go. Well, that didn't, you know. Let's see what the other track's about. Because what I might do, I might just add a little bit more onto the other. See what the other track's about. Right, there we go. On to record. Turn the volume a bit higher because I think it needs a bit more because of that record. And on with the Gramdeck. Yeah, we'll give it an extra, what do you call it, but I can't find my usual test record. I don't know where my usual test... Hang on. Got it, folks. Sack that. Right. We want track number 2. There we go. Turn the volume down slightly because this is not a test LP. Right. Gramdeck test number to record test number 2. I mean, it was a bit wowery and a bit fluttery when I first got it, but since I've stripped it down and lubricated it, it's, you know, put the felt pads on and stuff, it's really made a big difference to it. It's not that far, in my opinion, it's not that far from a proper tape recorder, a cheap one like. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I've not done the erase head. There we go. Try again. Because you have to adjust this here, so you have to move this here to put the tape onto the erase head. Otherwise it won't erase what was on the tape before, and you get a load of mishmash crap on your tape if there was anything on the tape. I mean, with a brand new tape you don't need to use the erase head because there's nothing on the tape, there's nothing to be erased. On a virgin tape, as they call it, you don't need to use the erase head. It tells you that. While I'm here and we're talking, while that records, there, look at that. I've got the boxes. Got the boxes for this thing. Let's put that box back over there. I've got all the boxes. And I've got all the manuals and the circuit diagram. And look at this. See what it says here, folks, look. As easy as putting on a record. Was it difficult to put a record on in the 60s? It must have been. In the 50s and 60s. But that book, you know, that book is probably worth more than the Gramdeck. You know, somebody will probably pay to get that. I got that. I like the instructions. Technical data instruction. Look at this. Technical data and instructions for the technically minded owner. And they also do instructions for thick fuckers as well, as you can see. Note for simple instructions, see how to install and operate guide. Yeah, that's for, you know, so, well, that's the record finished, so we'll stop that and we'll unplug that. That's the record finished. Let's lift the pickup off that, put the erase head lever back to where it should be. Right, and before I do that, and here's another one. Here's another one I like, and I think this is cool. For installation, what they would do if you bought a Gramdeck. Look at this. If you bought a Gramdeck, they would actually send their engineers out if your unit didn't have the. If your radiogram or record player, or gramophone as they call it, well it is to all intents and purposes, if you didn't have the sockets required, they would send a technician out to actually come and fit the sockets on your equipment free of charge for you, so you could use the Gramdeck. And I think, you know, they don't offer stuff like that nowadays. You know, nowadays it's, well, you bought it, you own it, it's your problem. You know, but back then people really cared. You know, even though they didn't want people returning to get their money back. You know, but I think it's that people genuinely cared back then. You know, it was a different time. Anyway, let's rewind this tape. Turn that volume down. Well, that sounds a bit better, doesn't it? We've got something on there, haven't we? And I know that's something on there, but I've just recorded. I know you're not supposed to wind them this way, but oh, that'll do. Right, so anyway, let's turn the. I always like to engage the pinch roller first. Shut up, Scraps, it's too early, you're not getting it yet. He's whinging for his jumbo, and he knows. He doesn't get it till 2 o'clock. I think it could do with a new felt pad on the pressure arm as well. Yeah, it could do with a new felt pad. Yeah, could do the new felt pad on that. Anyway, folks, that's the demonstration of the Gramdeck tape deck attachment, and I hope you like it. If you've got any comments, then please feel free to leave one. And I will be doing. It's mainly aimed at the guy it's mainly aimed at the other Gramdeck guy, because he's got two preamps that don't work well. They don't record. So I'm going to make another video in the next couple of days, mainly aimed at him, so that he can actually, it's mainly for him, so that he can actually figure out how the bias coil is wired, and hopefully he can do what he's been wanting to do for a long time, and record on his Gramdeck and make a video himself, and so we'll see. But that'll be in the next couple of days or something. Make that video and get it up. But for now, thanks for watching, folks, and more to come later. Bye.